What's up, Diginerds? Woo! It's your boy Inferno
and David,
and we're here with something a little crazy, a little bit different. We're doing a tier list, guys, but not just any tier list. Top 5 decks of the format right now. BT13, you already know what it is. You know, we're coming with you with the best opinions of the best players in the world. Ain't that right?
absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. He doesn't believe in it, but I believe in it, guys. By the way, stay tuned. We are entering in some regionals here coming up in October. 2 regionals in October. So, be rooting out for us. And not only that, if you're also participating in those regionals, we also have a secret spicy deck for you to try out and get your invite.
The secret gassiest of spice that more than likely will get that top invite that you're looking for.
Yes. And I'm not saying I'm playing it. We already know I'm playing best deck of the format Mastermind. We know what I'm playing for the regional.
That's why it showed up on this list.
But yeah, so wait, if you can stay to the end of the video, guys, we'll show off that deck. And you definitely should be the one, if you want that invite, this is the one you'll be playing. But without further ado, let's hop in here and start with number 5. Deck number 5 here, guys.
Yeah, this one was pretty agreeable. Royal Knights. This is by far my favorite deck to play. It's been so much fun playtesting, just playing in general. I mean, it's just one huge toolbox deck. But it does have a hard time into some of these other decks that we're about to list. I mean, as you can see on the screen, it has a hard time against
pretty much a lot of the other top decks you'll see 4 through let's just say at least number 4 here that we're about to be showing off. They have probably the worst matchup of the game. Not to mention just the fact that certain floodgates just cut their entire game plan off, and it makes it for a very hard life. Here we're going to be showcasing here just a quick deck profile of one of the ones that tops, if you guys want to kind of edit your deck towards these profiles here. And some things that I highly recommend here. I really like, personally, the Crimson Blazes.
The Crimson Blaze has come in clutch so many times, in my opinion, especially in the purple matchup. Just whether they hit it out of the security or just being able to play it for a reduced cost. And you're running so much red, so there's almost no way that you're just not going to be able to see a red source, whether it's between your Marcuses or you're running at least in this version you're running 2 Gallantmons. I personally love to run more than just one of the BT12 Gallantmon. That Gallantmon is just too good. Honestly, I love running 2 of each just because of how good each one of them are, and I want to see them. The Genkumons, and then you have the Jesmons, and then I like the spiciness of this build where they're running the 2 Kantarismons. That is pretty spicy. Plus, along with I don't know how to pronounce that yellow word. How do you pronounce that, Dante? That yellow option?
It's like Loan Adekskatko. Something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Mr. Yellow player himself.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yellow Purple himself.
And this, look, guys, I tell you what, when this deck came out, I was telling David, I was like, I'm almost positive this is just way better than the new Examine that came out.
I 100% agree.
And yeah, you can already see this guy's running 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 of the old Examine.
It's just so good just being able to get 2 swings out and suspend something so you can swing over it. I mean, just in general, it's just so good. Just enough said about him himself. Just that Examine.
So yeah, this is a pretty good build, guys. Again, this is for one of the regionals here that happened in August. So still pretty recently, guys. Recent good build. Also, any of the builds you see right here, all the stuff that we're using. A big shout out to our boy. You know who it is. The myth, the
Eggman.
The Eggman. He does all this. His team does great work here. So we just want to give a good shout out to him because we are using his stuff here. Now, next, on to the next number 4 here, guys. Can you guess what it is?
Blue Flare.
Blue Fair, guys. Blue is fair. Blue is fair.
I think we both have had a lot of fun playing this deck.
Yes.
You a little bit more than me. You've played it a lot more than I have. But it's definitely been enjoyable to play the times I have played it. And in general, this deck is just very strong against this format. It was the best deck last format, and still one of the best decks for this format. It completely destroys Royal Knights. Just the Sorai and just being able to stop your opponent from attacking. Just in general with the Metal Greymon, and it's ridiculous being able to stun them out. So they are just sad because then they can't do anything.
Yeah, Sorai says goodbye, Royal Knights. You don't get to play the game anymore. Have fun, and it's quite ridiculous to be honest with you. Not to mention, but just the consistency and the addition to the jamming. So going for this insane build where you go, you just max out on your Security Plus Greymons and you just give it jamming. And you're just swinging out over and over, and it's like all of a sudden you're swinging twice, and they happen to have a two Digimon on board. You just you're swinging for 4 checks in one turn with Ziggy in your hand. It's actually really dumb. Not fair at all. And sometimes you're swinging for their entire hand. Their entire security. If you have just by itself, if you have this your usual Greymon plus a cyber launcher here to add. So basically you just go right. You just easily go Melvirgemon, this jamming these 2 right here, and then you go on top of that your Metal Gray with this one right here, the cyber launcher, and you tuck in Greymon. All of a sudden you're swinging 2 checks, unsuspend, 2 checks, Ziggy, and then you swing for the last check. And all of a sudden they don't have anything on the board, in the security, and it's with jamming. The entire thing was jamming. It's really dumb. So yeah, we have it at number 4 here. Really solid deck. It's definitely something to pick up. It's really cheap as well, so it's definitely something to pick up here.
Oh, absolutely. And this particular build is very spicy with the 2 Death X. Like, golly, to find the room for 2 Death X. That's what impressive. A list. That's very impressive. Like impressive. We found it in our building. We're like, man, we're a little tight on space, and then just to find room for a second Death X, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, my spicy build personally, it's a even more aggro deck. I add 1 Metal Gray, the red one. That gives an extra security attack, and then I also add 1 Omnimon, Blitz Omni, so it's really aggressive. I can OTK you, like a hand, it's possible, like with the best hand can OTK you.
Oh yeah, high rolling for sure.
So, but let's go back to our tier list, guys. So this is where me and David have had the biggest,
difference of opinion.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. Do we kind of want to talk about them both at the same time, or?
Yeah. I think we will. Okay. So the 2 decks that we have is the next ones. We have is Greymon. We can just call it Greymon everything, right? Mm-hmm. Black War Gray.
And then Hunters. So we've kind of talked about this back and forth. We're kind of gonna make the final decision. Just talking on camera here for you guys to kind of hear our thought process. But honestly, I'm all for the Black War Gray being the number 2 list, and Dante is all for Hunters being the number 2 list. Honestly, I think Black War Gray, just because of how many decks that are running a bunch of Tamer support right now, is just so good. And it's just, again, this, in my opinion, is the best toolbox deck that you could have. This particular list is a little bit more on the, it's kind of a mixture build. Again, it's a toolbox deck. He's got it to where he's got that slight aggression with that control aspect in it. He's got that blocker Greymon. He's got the Yuya for the defensiveness that the deck needs. But then he's also got the the Omnimon package for that extra pushing power. He's got the Gaiomon, and just Black War Gray himself just pops so many Tamers, which really is crucial in these matchups, because when you're playing against decks like Blue Flare, you pop their Tamers. Now they have no sources to recur from. You pop Hunter's Tamers, now they have no sources to recur from, and you're able to pop their Marcuses and Shinegreymon. It's just ridiculous how much that one card can really destroy this meta. And just being able to trash your security and then with the Metal Gray X just not being able to have your Digimon's DP reduced for the turn. I mean, it's just so good. I think this deck deserves to be the number 2 spot. And if you look at, we kind of did some research, looking over the events that Eggman posted, just going through each one of them. This has the second most wins and the third most representation in the top cut. I think the numbers where it had, out of 12 events, it had 18 tops and had 2 wins. So I think this deck deserves to be the number 2 spot.
And kind of going over here to Hunters, guys. We know what Hunters does. Hunters is consistent to a fault. Now, this build, I wouldn't really say that it's my favorite build. The reason why I think Hunters is better, one of the reasons why, and big reasons, right, is number one, I think it has a better shine matchup. I think I also think it has an okay matchup against Greymon, specifically because of Quartzmon. Greymon doesn't have a lot of ways to out Quartzmon. The toolbox doesn't anyway. They kind of have to see it, right? Because their specific ways that out there are very niche. Not to mention that it's just, Arrest Superior mode is just dumb, right? It's just dumb. It overrides every protection for pretty much every single other card in the game. There's only a few cards that have protection against it. I think the new BT13 Alphamon, is that the one that has protection against it? It's when if it would be removed from the field at all.
Yeah.
So that's the most protection a card has right now. That's easy to get. There's also one more card, I think, that has protection that says, I think it's another one. I think it's a Craniumon that can be affected by your opponent's Digimon effects.
Yeah.
But most other decks, right? You talk about Shine Gray. Shine Gray can't do. You're literally okay, give me that Greymon, give me your Shine Gray, and put it on your Tamer. Now your whole deck is useless, right? Quite insane, and it comes out of nowhere, right? It's not like they can prep for it. It plays 2 for free essentially. It plays a 2 drop. Digivolves into another one, to a 4 for 2, and then you can Digivolve to your Restaurant Spirit mode for free essentially, or by however you want to do it. Either way, you're getting into that Superior mode.
Yeah, I definitely think this deck, I will 100% agree with you, this definitely has the better Shine Gray matchup. I mean, Shine has nothing against Quartzmon. You play Quartzmon against Shine, they're sad, they're losing the game. Because they can't put out their Marcuses can't unsuspend. Enough said, you can't suspend Marcus, you can't swing with Marcus, therefore you can't get all of your burning effects off to kill Quartzmon. It's just, Quartzmon is the Shine Gray killer. If you specifically are having trouble playing against Shine Gray, pick this deck up for sure. Quartzmon is the big bad that kills that deck for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just super consistent as well. Not only with all the drawing power, but again, Superior Mode is just a crazy card, to be honest with you. Superior Mode being able to do what it does, you already know what it does, right? Adding in, people have started taking in, they're adding in the 1 Digivolve because it's good, right? It's good in the mirror matchup, is good for green.
I mean, it's really good against the Black or Gray matchup. I mean, you Digivolve once, you may stop them from having protection for that turn.
Yeah, so there's a lot to this deck that I think it just has such a high ceiling, and just how do you ever want to play it, right? And it just comes out of nowhere for wins. I really think its recovery is insane. Crazy recovery, crazy high ceiling. In all honesty, I mean, we're talking about the stats. I think David told me it was 20. I think it's 20 tops and 1 win, which is
20 tops, 1 win.
So it's that's so close to the Greymon. 2 more tops and 1 less win, right? You can't really knock it, right? You can't really knock it. So to me, I think it's fine. I think it has. I think it also has an okay matchup into Blue Fair. Even though I think it's probably a little bit worse than the Black War matchup, because the Black War is typically fine building 1 stack, while as and it kind of just depends. The actual matchup kind of just depends if they can disrupt the sources.
Yeah, it's kind of an iffy matchup just because it just depends on how many Digimon you are putting out there. I mean, you can play if you know what you're playing against. You're more than likely just going to keep one guy out there, and then just kind of swing with them. And then when it dies, just bring something else out. So there's definitely ways to play around it with this deck for sure.
Or I guess even I want to think about it even more. Right, is like even then it's like you don't have to even have anything on the board. Again, you go from 0 on the board to 2 out of Restromon in 1 turn with like 3 memory. It's insane. So it's not like they can stun something that's not on the board, right? So yeah. I still think it's better. I think it also has a fine matchup into the World Knights specifically because what I would say is that it has jamming capabilities, and so that's like World Knights' big things that everything they have is big. But whenever you have jamming, well, what do you do?
Well, honestly, I think the issue that this deck proposes to Royal Knights is just the speed and just the recoverability.
That as well.
I think that's what really does it. I mean, the jamming does hurt a little bit, but with this particular deck, I don't think that's the reason why it's a harder matchup for Royal Knights. I think just the recovery, just being able to recover so fast because you're saving everything, and just being able to play stuff out just for so cheap, and then so you're essentially, okay, you wiped my board this on your turn. Okay, I'm gonna bring back an even better board next turn because now I have more stuff in my hand, and now I have the materials that you got rid of underneath my tamers. Yeah,
and it's like, unfortunately too, if you play an extra Digimon or whatnot, then you're playing to that rush mode, and so now they're slowing you down as well, because they might tuck it under any of your other cards. God forbid you have level 4 on the board, and they tuck one of your level 6 on your level 4.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it has a good matchup in that period and to that. So again, to me, I still think it's second, but I think it's a fair argument that this is second as well.
Okay, they're both really good decks, but
so what
I don't know. How are we going to decide?
We're going to combine it.
Okay. That's fair.
Yes.
Because again, both these decks are just just looking at the stats in general, like you said, Hunter's only got 1 win, but it had 2 more tops. And Black or Gray had 1 more win, but 2 less tops. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the stats are just so close. I mean, you can just, and again, when it comes to that win, it's definitely based off the pilot, because you can have the same deck list as the winning deck, and you may not perform as well. It's definitely any deck, but to get the win, it's a pilot oriented on who's gonna win. But if you want to top either one of those, not bad options. You can more than likely top if you're playing those decks.
And if we're coming down to the final one, if you haven't figured it out, guys,
it's Shine. It's the big bad boogeyman himself. Shinegreymon. This deck has been everywhere. Just the statistics alone, out of the 12 events that we looked at, this deck topped 49 times. Woo! It topped 49 times and had 5 wins out of those 12 events. I mean, golly, that's ridiculous. Taking almost 50% of the wins by itself.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And everyone talks about the consistency problems, but at the end of the day, it might be inconsistent, but if you draw well, you're rolling over people.
Yeah, if you're high rolling, you are high rolling. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I love adding the yellow min boost to add a little bit extra consistency in this deck.
Yeah, yellow or red, depending on your egg.
Yeah, depending on your egg. I like the yellow egg a little bit better. Some people like if you're going to run the red egg, I definitely say run the draw 1 egg, not the plus 1000. I don't think that does you any good at all in this deck, in my opinion. But I definitely prefer the yellow egg just because sometimes just to get over some of those bigger Digimon, especially when you're playing against Royal Knights, an extra 1000 goes a long way.
Honest, definitely against Royal Knights, guys. Royal Knights, look, it's always they're usually always at that little bit of DP cap. Usually, just very slightly over that little DP that you need, and that's what. Yeah, we kind of opt to run the yellow egg. And this build is very, very concrete, very, very tried and true. Love the Crimson Blazes again. And kind of this is your what I call your purple killer.
Yeah, purple killer, green killer. I mean, this deck just kills green in general.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Bloom plays this deck. You're expecting to win every time, 100%. If you're the Shinegreymon player, I mean, there's no reason why you should lose.
Yeah. So this is and that is our list. Now, guys, we're just gonna go through here. I know you're waiting for that secret spicy sauce, gassy of spice. Not yet.
Not yet.
We're almost done though.
So we just kind of want to talk about how this, this format's kind of shaped up. So just looking at the first event, I mean, obviously Shinegreymon won. It still had the most tops, probably because it had the most representation in this list because everyone was excited about the deck.
Yeah.
I think the deck that in this particular event that underperformed was definitely the Royal Knights. Everyone was expecting this deck to be one of the, the second boogeyman behind Shine. And it only had one top in this event.
And only just one top, and everyone's still kind of getting the hang of it, though, I would say.
No, I 100% agree. This is definitely not the easiest deck to just pick up and play. You can pick up and play it, but you have to know a lot about, just the toolbox that it is to be able to use the situational cards.
Yeah, there's so many micro decisions that happen with that deck. Exactly what he was saying. You just need to know what to use at what time, and to make sure that you are progressing your game, your win con, right? A deck that we didn't really talk about, guys, that's also underperforming, I would say, is Belphemon.
Belphemon.
My babe, I love this deck.
We definitely put this, we probably ranked this one a little too high when we did our tier list video, to be completely honest. We still believe that this deck is still really strong and really good, but it's very dependent on seeing your rage modes in the trash.
Yeah, it has a consistency issue that you almost wish you could fix it by running a little bit of those cards that just say trash cards from your deck, right? But again, that's not getting to where you're that's not getting you where you kind of want to be, because a lot of your card effects are also trash from your hand. That's kind of what your entire deck does, right? So, but at the same time, again, it's it's the consistency issue for me. If it high rolls, you're probably blowing over whoever you're playing against.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this deck, the ceiling for this deck is very high. It can definitely contend against these top 5 decks that are in there, and that's why in the beginning, you're looking at the second regional of this format when we pulled this list, and they won. Obviously, they were definitely playing very well, and is still very pilot oriented to again win an event, especially at the level that they won. They won a regional, not just a locals or just some sort of weekly event that people are hosting online or some sort of box tournament. It's a regional. These are big events.
And so yeah, and that's kind of what we want to talk about there. Belphemon, definitely a good deck. It just needs a high roll, and again, it turns off. Since red is so prevalent right now, there's some again that red card, guys, Crimson Blaze destroys Belphemon. Okay, destroys any purple deck. Really.
Yeah, and this thing, even in this video, I mean, looking at this Hunter's deck on this event, I mean, second event, and people are starting to realize that Hunters are good this format. We didn't see any in that last event. So I think this is where
you see 3 are already in the top.
Yeah,
3, right?
3 in the second event, taking tied for the most represented in the top cut. So I mean, it's definitely performing well. I think a deck that could be talked about that you see a lot of consistently topping, but yeah, this. To finish my sentence, I think a deck that is consistently topping. I kind of want to know how is the Bloom Lord deck with how many Shinegreymon
Look how many Shine
I mean,
Gray.
look, even in this event, there are 9 Shine Gray events, and there still managed to be 1 Blue Lord top. And
Kind of wild.
it got 7th place. So, I mean, it didn't do the worst in this event. I mean, this is a hell of a player. What's this guy's name? Where's it show his name at? Scroll to the top. Yeah, who are you?
Oh, there we go. Frederico Ezekiel.
Yeah, whoever you are, guy, hats off to you. When there are 9 in the top cut and you manage to get 7th, 9 shine in the top cut and you managed to get 7th, kudos to you. You killed it. You played my goodness, you played the best Digimon you could possibly ask to play.
Yeah, this is impressive. I don't know how he managed this. That's insane.
I mean, I personally love this deck. I've been trying to be on this deck for a while, but one, just the micro decisions you have to make, and just the shine matchup is just so awful. It's just, I hate it. That I just can't get it to work for me. I love the deck. I love what it does, but I can't get it to work for me.
And also something kind of a little spicy here. This Crossheart player.
Yeah, Crossheart.
And
this takes me back.
What a build this is. Quite interesting. Adding the Dokokomon. I don't know how to say that. Dokokomon. Obviously having this Omnishaman. That's the regular one?
Yeah, that's the regular one.
That's the regular one. Sorry. I think this is adding the memory center, which we never see that ever.
Yeah, so I think this is definitely the reason why we're seeing the build kind of like this. They're running more for the names for the Cross 7 Superior mode. Like, that card by himself is just gas. Like, I love this deck. But again, this deck is just so niche right now, and to see someone top with it is so, it's kind of nice.
You can do it too, David.
Don't say that.
I believe you.
They're definitely just running different names so that they can get, have as many targets as possible for the Cross 7 and still have pieces available to do what they need to do. And I definitely love adding the Christopher in there for the memory setter. And the final Crossblade is actually some spicy tech. Just because, yes, it's a Crossheart deck, and yes, you kind of expect to see this card, but at the same time, this card is not ran a whole lot. Just because, I mean, look at that cost.
Guys, if you want to see David play Examon or Crossheart in the next regional, let's get 15 likes for this video. 15 likes, and he will play one of the two.
I will play one of the two.
All right, guys. The likes. Okay. All right, and let's go to another regional here. I'm kind of just going to the regionals to hit them real quick, just because the regionals. Another Shine Gray win here.
Shine win with a Greymon as the 2, and then Hunters as the 3. Blue Flare right there, and then you do see there were 7 Hunters in this top. Like, this event, woo, man, Hunters was dominant. People really realized here. Looks like that Hunters was the deck to play. But, I mean, we're still seeing, the Black Ward Gray top beating them out, going to 2nd place.
Yeah, this is an insane amount. For there to be 7 Hunters, I don't know what they were doing. There's a random O-Force in here, too. What you doing there, bro?
Yeah, O-Force.
What you doing there, bro?
O-Force, hey, O-Force is blue, and blue is good. This
Blue
format.
is good. 2 Soul Ride, that's all you need, bro. When you're winning against Royal Knights with 2 Soul Ride, you're going to see them. You're always going to see them.
You're going to see them. More than likely, one of them's going to be in security.
More than likely. Unfortunate for them.
Just turns their entire deck off. And, there's still Beelzemon top. Beelzemon is still one of those decks that is still very good. It's interesting to see it, nowadays, because, it dominated just, what was it, last format?
The format for that.
Yeah, and
it's not like it's bad at all, right? Obviously, the limiting of this mine is it sucks for them. But I mean, maybe it's because people like the other decks more. Because I don't see how this deck is bad. I don't see this deck being bad still. It still has a turn 4 kill.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't see it being bad. I definitely just see, unfortunately, there's just some decks that are just steamrolling, and only just due to the speed. Mostly.
Maybe it could also just be a lower representation, right? I mean, that's something I would look at is how many people are actually still playing this day. There's so many options to play right now in this format.
So many good options.
Yeah.
That are just very strong, very good, and the fact that you're just going to see a bunch of different decks, and again, there's so many decks that are doing very well right now. I mean, you look at these lists, you have a bunch of one-ofs that are making every single top cut. I mean, look at this. This is Jetsmon. This is spicy. This is definitely a heavy pilot-oriented deck.
Three Chimeras.
And just to get this far, holy crap! This list is spicy.
Oh, he has. Oh yeah, it's spicy. It's
this list is spicy.
Is it? He has the security hook mine in there too. Oh, he's different. He's built different.
He was about it. He's running the 3 of the GXs. Woo, man.
Yeah, he's doing some things here, guys. Wait a second. There's
none of the regular Jetsmon.
Oh, this build different.
I told you this was a spicy build.
Wait a second.
He's running 3 of the Jetsmon X antibodies, and he's running 2 of the Genku X antibodies and 1 regular Jetsmon. It looks like he's heavily reliant on the Jetsmon GX.
Yeah, that's wild. I've never seen that. Not even running 1. That's wild.
Yeah, that's very wild. Look at this. Look, Bloomlord getting second place here.
Well, to be fair, you only got 4 shots.
But even still, getting second place with this deck is very. Woo.
Okay, this
it's a tough build.
Super India. This is good. Yeah.
I think the spiciness of this one is they did add 1 of the Rosemont Burst mode, which I do kind of like. But I definitely love the control aspect of just the 3 and the 4 between Bloom and Hydra. I mean, that's just so good.
Agreed. Now I think we're this. So there was like this just all these online and offline.
Online, offline from Gen Con. I mean, look, here's the event where Hunters won.
Another Jetsmon. Is that a Beelstar?
Yep, Beelstar did. One of the only events that's topped in this format.
This hadn't topped in a long time.
This is a kind of a crazy deck. I was talking about it with our boy Tanner the other day at our locals, and just talking about adding the Gizmon package to this is actually very interesting. This deck is just very spicy just in general, and this he's running 2 of the ruin mode. My goodness,
I'm about to build this deck. Today. Wait, yeah, I'm gonna build this deck today. This is my deck today.
And then let's see, we had a red hybrid player get second. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, this is something. I mean, this makes
red hybrid is good. It's just fast and just tries to kill your opponent.
Yeah, it does things like that, guys. It's something that if it high rolls, you're just a sad person if it high rolls.
Yeah. That's the truth.
Okay, real quickly, I think that this is where all the offline ones. They're pretty similar. They're all pretty similar. There's a Belfamon in here.
Offline, online.
Let's see if we can find. We want to look at it just cause there's a Mastermind in here. All right, y'all got this Mastermind build. Trash. All right, trash. But it's Mastermind, so I love it, baby. It's my baby still.
I mean, it's interesting that Oceania's their top. Their format's always been a little weird. I mean, I don't even know how to really describe it. Theirs has always been different. All of their regionals. You look at their lists that are topping, and it's just like, what in the world is going on over there?
Look, if you want to see a real Mastermind build, look at our channel. There's another one coming out pretty soon, BT13. Watch out for it. I'm playing it in the regionals. I'm going to dominate.
No,
you're not going to see it.
I know you're not playing.
Look, if he won with I got to win with mine. I can't be the one that doesn't win it. Okay? So I'm in both regionals. I'm winning in one of them. One of these regionals, I'm topping with Mastermind. Let's head over to this EU one. I think this might be the last region that's happened here.
I don't know. Is it?
It looks like there's again 5 Shinegreymon here. Nothing too much to it. There's another right.
3 Hunters.
Look at the Machine-Dramon here. We did have a Machine-Dramon deck yet.
Yeah, that's a interesting deck.
Yeah,
I think Machine-Dramon's pretty good. It's on the I definitely put it in the top 10 this format.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's nothing great, but at the same time, if you're not expecting it, it can kind of do some dirty things to you.
That is the honest truth. It will put you in the
It can make you feel very sad really fast, especially if you don't know how to deal with the deck. Just with how much protection it has, and just the big stack itself is just very scary. Just everything that it does.
But you know who has a really good matchup into it? Mastermind.
Stop it.
Done protecting Kaz deck. Get Kaz deck, my boy. Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. So
and that was the last.
Yeah, that was the last regional. You got two smaller events right there.
Two smaller events. This one just happened.
Yeah, this one just came out.
And it's a security controls in this one.
Yeah, Belphemon 1, Blue Flare, Hunter, Greymon.
What do they look like these days? Yeah, pretty stat.
What? Nani?
What in the name of the world? How do you get this out?
Quartzmon? Are they running something with save in its text?
6.
White, black. That's how they're doing it. The Seraphimon.
Dang! Actually, kind of dirt for Death Decks. What are you doing for Death Decks, my boy?
They're wanting to make sure that they see that.
What are you playing against that? This doesn't help you in the that doesn't help you at all against what you call it? I almost said Shine. What's that deck called? World Knights.
Yeah.
At all. Literally useless card.
Useless.
Literally useless. I would rather you put a. I'd rather this be like 4 Zord defeats. All right.
Yeah.
Because then I can understand that. Zord defeat can also go. No, it can't. Can't go on top of this. I don't think it can go on top of black. Can it?
I don't remember.
Guys, let's look it up real quick, guys. We're here. Might as well. Give me a second. Oh, we're trying.
It's taking 10 years over here. Golly.
Okay, go right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, of course. I'm going to defeat. I'm going for those sort of pieces. If anything, I'm doing this. All right, guys. And now, what you've been waiting for?
Our super gasless deck. That not necessarily the list, but the deck that we think is gonna get you into your top cut invite.
Yes, if you want your invite, play this deck. It's a great deck. This format that it's been topping 1 consistently in almost every single regional.
Almost every single regional. It was, I think, out of the 12 that we looked at, it had 8.
Yes. And the thing is, the reason we're picking this is not because you're going to win the regional, but topping it is the difference here.
Yeah, it's a deck that people are somewhat expecting, but not a lot of people know how to play against. And it's kind of a surprise factor, and it's very good. It's decently consistent, and it's just very strong once you get it built.
And it has that brand new support that just came out in BT13 as well.
Yeah.
See that little buff. And that is...
If you haven't guessed it, it's Alphamon.
Alphamon. Guys, Alphamon is a great deck this format. If you're looking to get your top, play Alphamon, okay? If you're looking to just squeak in and get that top, this deck will get you so many good, cheeky wins. But not only that, it just has decent consistency. Obviously, with the extended body, also with the new Alphamon here that's able to stun your opponent and just stop them from playing the game when they're at the level 6s. Beautiful, right? Yeah. Does fine the World Knight matchup, which you want to see. It has its protections, guys. I'm telling you right now, this is a good deck. There's a lot of draw power. You're full cool boys. You got a lot of draw power, okay?
Yeah. I mean, just in general, just looking at the build, what most Alphamon players are running, which you should be running if you're playing this deck, is the Kongus, which destroys the Shine Gray matchup. Just because you can get rid of their Tamer, and now, because of this card, they can't add it back to their security. So it's just disgustingly good against that deck. And it's also very good against any security control. any sort of deck that's going to be running cards that add to the security.
Also, that's good against Blue Flare. Blue Flare, actually, regular Metal Greymon is a 7 cost. Now, you can Digivolve it up, but that requires them to have the out. So this is, again, right, these are all really good things that makes his deck actually really good. Obviously, and again, its aggression and its stunning ability to stun some of the higher end decks here.
Yeah, I mean, just the Alphamon, the new BT13 Alphamon, I mean, he stops anything 10 costs or higher from swinging. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And just the protection that it has, just himself, you know, when he would leave the field, you know, just remove the source and add it to the bottom of your deck. So you're also grabbing something from the trash and then essentially saving it, reloading your deck of anything that you could potentially use later.
Not to mention lots of memory gain. The deck is good, guys. The deck is good. So we highly recommend that you look up some tests, you do some testing with it, look at some deck profiles, and get your invite because you know you need it.
Either that or learn how to play against the deck for sure.
100%. 100%. And guys, that is going to be it for this. I hope you really enjoyed us going over the top 5 decks of this format and the Super Secret Spice for you to get your regional invite. Guys, if you liked the video, drop a like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell so you can get all the Diginerds content. And if you want to see David play Examon and or Shoutmon in the next regional, let us know. Drop that with 15 likes. Share it to all your friends so we get them likes so we can, you know, be the first person to top ever with Examon.
Hey, I would not be the first ever.
In this format.
Okay, this format. Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, so let us know, guys. And without further ado,
Diginerds out.